Welcome back to When Harry Met Board Games, where we feed our people with relatable content, and our victory condition is your satisfaction. I'm Harry, and today we are continuing our People's Choice Top 100 Board Games of all time, cracking into the Top 50 of all time. We're covering numbers 50 to 41 in this video. I have surveyed over 3,100 influencers and content creators, and these are the results that I have come up with. So without any further ado, let's get straight to our list with our number 50. The People's Choice number 50 board game of all time is Mysterium. This game is a cooperative game where players are all trying to figure out and solve an old mystery. One player takes on the role of the murdered victim, who is now a ghost that cannot communicate through speech, but instead must communicate by giving visions, represented in the form of cards. The other players work as a team of mediums who are trying to interpret these visions, and these visions all represent different clues, trying to point the players in the right direction in order to find out and solve the mystery. At the end of the game, if a majority of the team members have not come to the right conclusion as far as solving that mystery, then the players have lost the game. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 264 on Board Game Geek's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number one game of all time. We have Gina_Dance, we have Rainbow Ruckus, and we have Smallwinds_Studio. All of them have ranked Mysterium as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 50. The People's Choice number 49 board game of all time is Villainous, and in particular Disney Villainous, because there is a Marvel edition of this game. In this game, players each take on the role of one Disney villain, and each villain comes with its own unique deck. In this game, players are moving across the board, taking different actions. There's lots of take that in this game, as you can imagine, in a game where players are literally taking on the role of bad guys or villains. And each player has a unique winning condition to her or to him. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked on Board Game Geek as number 638. So it's considerably lower on that ranking. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number one game of all time. We have _Helion_ with the O in Helion being a 0. We have Amélie_Passion Jeu de Society. I'm never going to get this French stuff right, guys. And we have Media Jeu. These people have all ranked Villainous as their number one board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 49. The People's Choice number 48 board game of all time is Sagrada. And this game is an abstract puzzly game where players are partaking in dice drafting. We roll dice at the beginning of each round. Players go in clockwise order, drafting those dice in a snake draft where the turn order reverses once players have drafted their first die. And they're trying to take dice and place them in their grid, but there's certain spots in those grids that are pre-designated for particular numbers and particular colors. Also, we have these different objectives, public and private, in the game that score players additional bonus points for getting certain combinations of colors and or numbers. So all the meanwhile, players are carefully selecting their dice. They're also using these tools that are available, but they must pay for, in order to either mitigate some of the dice rolling or break and tweak some of the other placement rules or other rules that this game might feature. You want to be as efficient as possible in this game and cover as many spaces on your player grid, because you will be docked points at the end of the game for every empty space that you were unable to fulfill. This game, as of this recording, is ranked on BGG at number 150. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Sagrada as their favorite game of all time. We have Aaron Clift. We have Kelly Board Spelly. That rhymes. We have Yap Carly. We have Emily Clark 4441. And we have Board Game Babies. These people who have all ranked Sagrada as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 48. The People's Choice number 47 board game of all time is Marvel Legendary. And right here I have one of many expansions that are offered the game, the Dark City expansion. And this is a deck building game with a Marvel theme. So apparently Marvel theme or superhero themes are very, very popular among the board game community. This game here is a deck building game where players cooperatively are working to take on the mastermind and overcome all of his or her tactics. All the meanwhile, the mastermind has minions, other villains, and henchmen who are working beneath them in order to accomplish their evil, conniving schemes. Each game will have one active scheme, and the scheme is basically the plan, the plot of the mastermind and the bad guys. It dictates some of the rules for that particular game session. It might activate certain advantages or benefits for the bad guys, and it tells the good guys how they can lose the game if they fail to meet certain conditions. Ultimately, the way the good guys want to win the game is by defeating the mastermind 4 times and therefore removing one of their 4 tactics with every defeat. This game comes with so much content and variety. Just in the base game, you throw on the expansions and you have dozens upon dozens of masterminds, villain groups, and superheroes. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked on Board Game Geek at number 180. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Marvel Legendary as their favorite board game of all time. We have J_Grooves_T. We have IG_Peanut. We have Nlog Born. We have W Summers 716. And we have Katie.McGill90. These people, again, have all ranked Marvel Legendary as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 47. The People's Choice number 46 board game of all time is Eldritch Horror. This game is published by Fantasy Flight, designed by Konieczka. This game takes place within the Cthulhu mythos or Lovecraftian universe. Players are all working together cooperatively, taking on the role of different investigators. Each investigator comes with their own unique ability. Players are traveling throughout the globe, throughout the world, because the board is a map of the entire world. And they're going to different sections, different continents on the world, and different countries and cities around the board in order to close interdimensional portals that allows monsters or maybe even elder ones to break into our reality and eventually take over. Because once the Doom track makes it to a certain threshold, then yes, that elder one is breaking through and there's nothing you can do to stop them. But if you're able to close those portals and manage those bad guys, all the meanwhile trying to accomplish the goals that the objective card has for the different players, if you can do all of this before the Elder One has won the game, then the players together have won this game. This game features a very clean system as far as conflict resolution or skill tests are concerned, and it has quite a bit of narrative text on all the different cards that this game comes with that makes for a very immersive and story-driven experience. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 82 on BoardGameGeek.com's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number 1 game of all time. We have Rare_D_Daddy. We have BoardGameSolo.bgs. We have Dice Bags UK. We have Played Today. We have Rubrand_com. We have Girl Who Likes Board Games. And we have Black Strawberry Games. These people have all ranked Eldritch Horror as their number 46 board game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 46. Hey everybody, if you're enjoying this video, please do us a favor and click on that like button down below. And while you're at it, also click on that subscription button. For just 1 click a day, you can help feed a struggling YouTube content creator. The People's Choice number 45 board game of all time is Anachrony. In this game, players each take on the role of a unique faction from a post-apocalyptic future, each with a unique ideology and a unique endgame winning condition. Players are traveling through time, trying to acquire resources, bring it back to the future, all in order to gain supremacy over the other factions in that future. This game is a worker placement game that features different types of workers, and you need particular workers in order to activate particular actions on the board. As a matter of fact, you also need to have the necessary suits for those workers to travel through time. So you're managing not only your workforce as far as your different types of workers, but you're also managing your resources as far as those different suits are concerned. This game also features a dynamic timeline where the game can play out in anywhere from 4 to 7 rounds based on the actions that players take and the things that actually transpire in time and in history that impact that same timeline. This game is currently ranked, as of this recording, at number 44 on BGG's rankings. So that's literally just one space off. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their #1 game of all time. We have Patrick P. Matos, we have JFP 1969, and we have Life of a Board Gamer. These people have all ranked Anachrony as their #1 game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 45. The People's Choice number 44 board game of all time is Raiders of the North Sea. This is the second game within the popular North Sea trilogy designed by Shem Phillips. Players are taking on the role of Vikings, all striving to impress the chieftain by raiding cities and therefore gaining victory points. This game is a worker placement game with a very unique mechanism where on a player's turn, they place down one worker on a spot on the board and trigger that spot's action, and they also remove another worker from a different spot on the board, and when they do so, they also trigger that spot's action. This game is by far the most popular game within the North Sea trilogy. It is the only one that cracks the top 1,000 as far as Board Game Geek's rankings are concerned. As a matter of fact, as of this recording, it's ranked number 90 on that ranking. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Raiders of the North Sea as their favorite game of all time. We have Pavlos_Key. We have Awesome Adam with 2 Ds. We have Dami 7.0. We have Geek and Pink. We have Tabletop_United. We have Ben_Pint 006. We have Emily Krieger, and we have Alice Plays Board Games. These people have all chosen this game as their #1 game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 44. The People's Choice number 43 board game of all time is Star Wars Rebellion. This is a game which obviously has the Star Wars intellectual property on it, and this is a very massively successful and popular intellectual property. As soon as a game has this theme, players are already gravitating towards it and want to like these type of games. This is a 2-player or 2-sided game where one side represents the Galactic Empire or the dark side of the Force, and the other player or players or group represent the Rebellion or the light side of the Force. And this game has asymmetric objectives and winning conditions as far as gameplay is concerned. For the Rebellion, they're just trying to survive the attacks of the evil empire and evade their attempts to find their base location. All the meanwhile, they want to build their reputation and convince the rest of the galaxy to join them in their rebellion against the Empire. Now, the Empire's winning condition is pretty straightforward. They want to deduce and figure out where the rebel headquarters, the rebel base is located, and snuff them out. All the meanwhile, they are defeating rebel forces all throughout the galaxy in order to eventually come to that conclusion. This game is currently ranked on BGG as number 9. It's in the top 10, number 9 board game of all time. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have chosen this game as their #1 game of all time. We have Hexa Quest. We have R5 Game Hard. We have Sandro.Glanti. We have J_the_board gamer. And we have hobbyhour.ru. These people have all chosen Star Wars Rebellion as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's only number 43. The People's Choice number 42 board game of all time is Dead of Winter. This is a game all about Surviving a zombie apocalypse. This game is referred to as a meta-cooperative game because players are working together to accomplish a joint winning condition, but each individual player starts the game with their own unique and particular winning condition for themselves. And in order to partake in the victory of the group, they need to meet said condition. This also creates lots of doubt and suspicion as far as the other players are concerned, because this is a game that involves a secret traitor. One of the players is not being honest with the rest of the group, and they do not care about their survival. And as the players are making these decisions in order to accomplish their own personal endgame objectives, it casts suspicion and doubt on them because players are wondering what the heck is going on. So again, players are all working together, trying to take actions in order to accomplish their joint endgame condition. All the meanwhile, they're trying to do just enough to meet their own personal conditions, and at the same time, convince the players around the table that they are loyal and that their intentions are sincere. Meanwhile, the traitor player is trying to do the very opposite. They're trying to be covert and go under the radar as they try to accomplish their objectives, all the meanwhile doing just enough to thwart the efforts of the rest of the group. This game is currently ranked on BGG as of this recording at number 126. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Dead of Winter as their favorite game of all time. We have Anna Bijo, we have Board Game Boozer, and we have Schmall_games. These people have all ranked Dead of Winter as their favorite game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 42. And finally, the last game for today's list and today's video, the People's Choice number 41 board game of all time is A Feast for Odin, designed by Uwe Rosenberg. This is a heavy worker placement game where players take on the role of Vikings, trying to raid and explore different territories. This is a worker placement game with lots and lots of options as far as worker placement spots are concerned. This game also combines polyomino shaped tile placement as a main feature of this game. Players are acquiring different polyomino shaped tiles, placing them on their own personal player boards in order to accomplish specific patterns and score in different ways. This game even features a little bit of push your luck with some dice rolling in order to determine the success of some of your actions. This game currently is ranked on BGG at number 21. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked A Feast for Odin as their favorite game of all time. We have JTalt ESQ. We have Nye_DZLNI_Grax. And we have Lord Balder. All of these people have ranked A Feast for Odin as their number one game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 41. And that's it for today's list, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to stay tuned as we cover the rest of this list. Next time, we're going to have games number 40 to 31, so don't you dare miss it. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.